through trying to fix that. Kaizen event sign up. We're going to have another Kaizen event, so we'll list that up here so we can have people sign up for it. We're going to sort of make a, I want to say show, play, sell, and we're going to try and work on Kaizen, all of us together, trying to figure some things out, make it look better so we can have something that we can show and move on to other areas so we can show what we can do, okay? So they'll have that up hopefully later today. We still got to finish up the bathroom one, so we are working on that. This is the pictures that I talked about yesterday. It's just, again, respect. There's markings on the sink. There's markings in the stalls, the men's stalls, feet on the wall. There's no reason. But again, the good thing is when there is a mess, and I taught the third shift, it's just respect the next person. But I do appreciate we didn't leave it for one person. Those 4 people got it a lot cleaner, a lot faster for all of us to enjoy. So, you know, let's give them a round of applause for just taking it on to get it done, okay? Helps us all out, okay? So we need to make sure, we need to all do that, okay? And if you see someone leaving a mess, it's investing into the person to tell them, hey, that's not fair to anybody else. Okay, it's when we talk to somebody and we say, hey, you made this mistake, or we can work on this or make it better. This morning we had regrind issues. The dryer was full of virgin, we're supposed to be regrind. I needed to explain it to the person why we do it. Cost. We have 50% of our cost as a material. So basically we're running all regrind, it's supposed to be 50% regrind, we're making $0. Why do we need to do it? This is the reason why. This is how we can do it. So what it is that think, remember? Make sure it's truthful. I made sure there was no regrind in there. You know, I made sure that, you know, it was helpful. I'm trying to help that person out, right? And make sure it's inspiring. It's not putting someone down, just explaining what we need to do to make things better, okay? All those things are very important. Again, when somebody talks to you or asks you about some mistake we might have made, it's an investment in you. If we didn't want to invest in you because you were part of the company, there's no point of you being here. We would just not talk to you and just say, just leave, right? So when somebody does talk to you about something's going wrong, don't take it as personal attack. What we're doing is trying to invest in people, invest in what's going on, invest in the company, okay? There's good things that can come out of things that when we make mistakes, we can learn. Knowledge is one of our core values. We want to pass that on, okay? All right, so we're talking about the cans again. So from the can maker's warehouse, the cans are trucked to the bottler's warehouse, where they are stored again, although this time only for about 4 days. They are then depalletized and loaded into mass can filling machines where they are washed and filled. It is at this point that the major tributary streams converge in a mass tank adjacent to the filling machine. In this step, water, caramel, sugar, and essence are all carefully mixed, and carbon dioxide, the fizz, is added to create cola. The value streams for this item are also required detailed analysis by Tesco, the bottler, and their suppliers, but the method for value stream analysis is best illustrated by sticking to the longest stream. After the cola is poured into the cans at a rate of 1,500 cans per minute, the cans are sealed in aluminum can end containing the familiar pop top, supplied through a separate but very similar process, the can maker. The cans are then dated, stamped, and packed into cartons, varying numbers of cans, 8 in the present case. Each type of carton has its own paint scheme and promotional information. The mixing and filling process, which brings all the tributary value streams together, requires only 1 minute to proceed from washing to packing, but is also expensive and time-consuming to change over. In addition, putting cola in a few cans and then to clear the soda in the next can requires purging the whole fill system. So the bottler has found it most economical to run large lots of each type of beverage through their complex equipment. At the warehouse, the pallets are sorted and placed in designated areas by type, a process called stocking. They are then picked as needed and loaded onto one of the bottler's trucks for conveying to one of the Tesco's regional distribution warehouses around the UK. Once at Tesco warehouse, things move much faster. Incoming pallets are stored for about 3 days before cases are taken from the pallets and placed on roller cages going overnight to each store. Once at the retail store, the roller cages are then taken from the receiving dock to the storage area in the rear or directly to the shelves, and the cola is sold in about 2 days. When the cola is taken home, it is typically stored again, at least for a few days, perhaps in the basement, or if the shopper has bought a number of cartons to take advantage of a special promotion offer. Then it's chilled and finally consumed. The last step probably requires about 5 minutes after nearly a year along the stream. So it took a year to drink that 5-minute cola, just from the time we pick up the ore to the time they made it. So we're going to explain what things that can be done to make that a more streamlined process. All right. So So again, we were talking about waste in the office and other places.
Like lost data.